Hello guys, welcome to the channel. This is 1992 Ford Capri 1.8 non-turbo twin cam. So I'm going to perform a timing belt and water pump change on this car. Stay tuned. So all the covers been removed. I'm just showing now where the leak is. The water pump is leaking badly, and also there's an oil leak as well. So on this video I'm covering the water pump replacement and the cam and crank seal replacement, and showing the timing marks and how to put the timing belt back in and tension it. On the previous clip I showed the cam marks, so on this here I'm just showing you the crankshaft mark. And the tensioner bolts been removed. That's a 14mm bolt. So once you remove the tensioner bolt, you can remove the tensioner, and then you can remove the timing belt. So as you saw, the timing wheel may jump a little bit, but don't need to worry about. You can get that set up later. All right. Once the timing belt removed, so I drain the coolant through the radiator. So either you can remove the water pump and drain it through there as well, but I want to drain the radiator coolant as well. So let it drain, and then I remove all the bolts on the water pump until the coolant drained from the radiator and the engine. So I am just doing the oil seals, remove and replace. So this way I found easy to hold the cam pulleys and remove the cam bolts to get access to the cam pulleys, and then get the cam pulleys out and the backer out, and then you have access to the timing seals. And you will see on the next clip how I remove the oil seals and replace them. So there are different ways people using tools and stuff to remove the seals, but I just use the screwdriver. That way easy for me. So the back plate's been removed. Using flat screwdriver, insert through the cam and the seal and force it outward to pull the seal out. So do not use the sharp edge of the screwdriver towards the cam, so that can scratch the cam deeply and it can lead to oil leak. You need to do this carefully. If you do not know how to remove it like this, I recommend using a proper tool. And once the seals is out, use a sandpaper, maybe 1000 grade, and clean where the oil seal was sitting. That will clean all the minor scoring marks and stuff to make the surface level. And also another important thing, do not use rough sandpapers, and apply some lubricant before installing the seals. Not the outside of the seal, inside. That way it's easy to push it in. And for the seal I use 27mm socket. That was the perfect size for the seal. Make sure seals sits in level equally all around. So if you're not sure, just take a note or make a mark before you removing it. Okay, once the seal is done, I removed all the bolts on the water pump, and as you can see now, just taking the water pump off, it was a bit tight because there is a metal pipe behind the water pump, and once you pull that one out, this is how it looks like. All right. This car been running with water for a long time, so, and hasn't had the water pump being changed. So it's the time. So next step, as you can see now, I'm just installing the new water pump in. So make sure the gasket in the position properly. But one more thing, guys, I haven't shown on the video. So clean the water pump surface before you install in the new water pump. You can always use a sandpaper and make sure no pitting or rough area where the water pump seals. That can lead to leak again. So after making sure the water pump sitting surface is smooth and level, then you can install the water pump. Torque specs for the water pump and all the other nut and bolts I will put on a description, so you can see all the torque specs there. All right, backing plate is installed. Now I'm just installing the exhaust cam. And now installing the intake cam. For these bolts, torque specs I'll put down in the description for you guys to know and how to use it. So once you install the cam sprockets and timing belt idler pulley, and you are ready to put the timing belt back in. So here with the tensioner, so I'll give you guys an easy trick. Install the tensioner first and fully decrease the tension. So press the tensioner backward and that way you can put the timing belt in and then you can release the tensioner. So if you're going to install it afterwards, it's kind of hard because of the belt there and the belt being tension bit. Prior installation was always easy from my experience. So from here onwards, it's all about the timing belt installing procedure. So insert the belt and then there is a plate on the crankshaft that you need to install that to prevent the belt from falling. And I always recommend put the belt from the crankshaft first and then keep the tension towards the cam pulley and keep the tension loose from the tensioner side always. So align the cam marks and you can use a cable tie or something to hold the belt on that side, or either get the help from someone else, and align the cam mark on the other side if they are turned, and then insert the belt. So this is how I do it always, guys. So if you guys have any other easy ways, please put on a comment section. Once the belt is in, next step is to release the tensioner bolt. So put the belt in, release the tensioner bolt, and then what I always do, turn the engine clockwise for another 30 degrees, get into the compression stroke, and that way the belt got tension, and then torque the timing tensioner. So I've seen some people do by hand, like pushing the belt, but I always find this way is easier and always work for me with no issues. Once the belt and tensioner pulley completed, turn the engine for 2 rounds, making sure it's turning freely, valves not being hit, and double check the timing marks. Make sure everything okay before you start the engine. So that's a safety precaution to follow, because if there's any failures, you will know on this stage. Once you start, you're going to damage everything. So this precaution always recommended. All right, guys, the job is pretty much done. Engine is started and running, showing perfectly. Thanks for staying with me. So comment, subscribe, like and share. Thank you.